Day 142, Royal Kingdom, 2 Samuel 24, 1 Chronicles 29, Psalm 29. Let's begin. 2 Samuel 24. And the fury of the Lord was again kindled against Israel, and he stirred up David among them, saying, Go, number Israel and Judah. And the king said to Joab, the leader of his army, Travel through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan to Beersheba, and number the people, so that I may know their number. And Joab said to the king, May the Lord your God increase your people, who are already great in number, and may he again increase them, 100-fold, in the sight of my lord the king. But what does my lord the king intend for himself by this kind of thing? But the words of the king prevailed over the words of Joab and the leaders of the army. And so Joab and the leaders of the military departed from the face of the king, so that they might number the people of Israel. And when they had passed across the Jordan, they arrived at Aroer, to the right of the city, which is in the valley of Gad. And they continued on through Jazer, into Gilead, and to the lower land of Hodsi. And they arrived in the woodlands of Dan. And going around beside Sidon, they passed near the walls of Tyre, and near all the land of the Hivite and the Canaanite. And they went into the south of Judah, to Beersheba. And having inspected the entire land, after 9 months and 20 days, they were present in Jerusalem. Then Joab gave the number of the description of the people to the king. And there were found of Israel 800,000 able-bodied men, who might draw the sword, and of Judah 500,000 fighting men. Then the heart of David struck him, after the people were numbered. And David said to the Lord, I have sinned greatly in what I have done. But I pray that you, O Lord, may take away the iniquity of your servant. For I have acted very foolishly. And David rose up in the morning, and the word of the Lord went to Gad, the prophet and seer of David, saying, Go, and say to David, Thus says the Lord, I present to you a choice of 3 things. Choose one of these, whichever you will, so that I may do it to you. And when Gad had gone to David, he announced it to him, saying, Either 7 years of famine will come to you in your land, or you will flee for 3 months from your adversaries, and they will pursue you, or there will be a pestilence in your land for 3 days. Now then, deliberate, and see what word I may respond to him who sent me. Then David said to Gad, I am in great anguish. But it is better that I should fall into the hands of the Lord, for his mercies are many, than into the hands of men. And the Lord sent a pestilence upon Israel, from the morning until the appointed time. And there died of the people, from Dan to Beersheba, 70,000 men. And when the angel of the Lord had extended his hand over Jerusalem, so that he might destroy it, the Lord took pity on the affliction. And he said to the angel who was striking the people, It is enough. Hold back your hand now. And the angel of the Lord was beside the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. And when he had seen the angel cutting down the people, David said to the Lord, I am the one who sinned. I have acted iniquitously. These ones who are the sheep, what have they done? I beg you that your hand may be turned against me and against my father's house. Then Gad went to David on that day, and he said, Ascend and construct an altar to the Lord on the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. And David ascended in accord with the word of Gad, which the Lord had commanded to him. And looking out, Araunah turned his attention to the king and his servants, passing toward him. And going out, he adored the king, lying prone with his face to the ground, and he said, What is the reason that my lord the king has come to his servant? And David said to him, So as to purchase the threshing floor from you, and to build an altar to the Lord, and to quiet the plague that rages among the people. And Araunah said to David, May my lord the king offer and accept whatever is pleasing to him. You have oxen for a holocaust, and the cart, and the yokes of the oxen to use for wood. All these things Araunah gave, as a king to a king. And Araunah said to the king, May the Lord your God accept your vow. And in response, the king said to him, It shall not be as you wish. Instead, I will purchase it from you at a price. For I will not offer to the Lord my God holocausts that cost nothing. Therefore, David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And in that place, David built an altar to the Lord. And he offered holocausts and peace offerings. And the Lord was gracious to the land, and the plague was held back from Israel. 1 Chronicles 29. And King David spoke to the entire assembly, My son Solomon, the one God has chosen, is still a tender boy. And yet the work is great, for a habitation is being prepared, not for man, but for God. Now with all my ability, I have prepared the expenses for the house of my God, gold for items of gold, and silver for those of silver, brass for those of brass, iron for those of iron, and wood for those of wood, and stones of onyx, and stones like alabaster, and stones of diverse colors, and every kind of precious stone, and marble from Paros in great abundance. And in addition to these things that I have offered into the house of my God, I give, from my own belongings, gold and silver for the temple of my God, aside from those things that I have prepared for the holy shrine. 3,000 talents of gold, from the gold of Ophir, and 7,000 talents of highly refined silver, for the gilding of the walls of the temple. And gold for wherever there is need of gold, and silver for wherever there is need of silver, for the works to be done by the hands of the artisans. And if anyone freely offers, let him fill his hand this day, and let him offer whatever he wishes to the Lord. And so the leaders of the families, and the nobles of the tribes of Israel, as well as the tribunes and the centurions and the overseers of the king's possessions, promise. And gave, for the works of the house of the Lord, 5,000 talents and 10,000 pieces of gold, 10,000 talents of silver, and 18,000 talents of brass, and also 100,000 talents of iron. And whoever found precious stones among their belongings gave them to the treasuries of the house of the Lord, by the hand of Jehiel the Gershonite. And the people rejoiced, since they were promising their votive offerings willingly. For they were offering these to the Lord with all their heart. And King David also rejoiced with great gladness. And he blessed the Lord before the entire multitude, and he said, Blessed are you, O Lord God of Israel, our Father from eternity to eternity. Yours, O Lord, is magnificence and power and glory, and also victory, and to you is praise. For all the things that are in heaven and on earth are yours. Yours is the kingdom, O Lord, and you are above all rulers. Yours is wealth, and yours is glory. You have dominion over all things. In your hand is virtue and power. In your hand is greatness and authority over all things. Now therefore, we confess to you, our God, and we praise your famous name. Who am I, and what is my people, that we should be able to promise all these things to you? All is yours. And so the things that we received from your hand, we have given to you. For we are sojourners and new arrivals before you, as all our fathers were. Our days upon the earth are like a shadow, and there is no delay. O Lord our God, all this abundance, which we have prepared so that a house may be built to your holy name, is from your hand, and all things are yours. I know, my God, that you test hearts, and that you love simplicity. Therefore, in the simplicity of my heart, I also have offered all these things joyfully. And I have seen, with immense gladness, your people, who have been found here, offering their donations to you. O Lord, the God of our fathers Abraham and Isaac and Israel, preserve unto eternity this desire of their heart, and let this purpose remain forever, for the worship of you. Also, I give to my son Solomon a perfect heart, so that he may keep your commandments, your testimonies, and your ceremonies, and so that he may accomplish all things, and may build the temple, for which I have prepared the expenses. Then David instructed the entire assembly, Bless the Lord our God. And the entire assembly blessed the Lord, the God of their fathers. And they bowed themselves, and they adored God, and next they reverenced the king. And they immolated victims to the Lord. And they offered holocausts on the following day, 1,000 bulls, 1,000 rams, 1,000 lambs, with their libations and with every ritual, very abundantly, for all of Israel. And they ate and drank before the Lord on that day, with great rejoicing. And they anointed Solomon, the son of David, a second time. And they anointed him to the Lord as the ruler, and Zadok as the high priest. And Solomon sat upon the throne of the Lord as king, in place of his father David, and it pleased everyone. And all of Israel obeyed him. Moreover, all the leaders, and the powerful, and all the sons of King David pledged with their hand, and they became subject to King Solomon. Then the Lord magnified Solomon over all of Israel. And he gave to him a glorious reign, of a kind such as no one has had before him, as king of Israel. Now David, the son of Jesse, reigned over all of Israel. And the days during which he reigned over Israel were 40 years. He reigned 7 years in Hebron, and 33 years in Jerusalem. And he died at a good old age, full of days and wealth and glory. And his son Solomon reigned in his place. Now the acts of King David, from the first to the last, have been written in the book of Samuel the seer, and in the book of Nathan the prophet, and in the book of Gad the seer, concerning his entire reign and strength, and the times that passed under him, both in Israel and in all the kingdoms of the lands. Psalm 29. A canticle psalm. In dedication to the house of David. I will extol you, Lord, for you have sustained me, and you have not allowed my enemies to delight over me. O Lord my God, I have cried out to you, and you have healed me. Lord, you led my soul away from hell. You have saved me from those who descend into the pit. Sing a psalm to the Lord, you his saints, and confess with remembrance of his holiness. For wrath is in his indignation, and life is in his will. Toward evening, weeping will linger, and toward morning, gladness. But I have said in my abundance, I will never be disturbed. O Lord, in your will, you made virtue preferable to beauty for me. You turned your face away from me, and I became disturbed. To you, Lord, I will cry out, and I will make supplication to my God. What use would there be in my blood, if I descend into corruption? Will dust confess to you or announce your truth? The Lord has heard, and he has been merciful to me. The Lord has become my helper. You have turned my mourning into gladness for me. You have cut off my sackcloth, and you have surrounded me with joy. So then, may my glory sing to you, and may I not regret it. O Lord, my God, I will confess to you for eternity.